anybody else that are keeping him on the fence? Did you have that suspicion or that idea?
Yeah, I did, and he said it wasn't that, so yeah.
You did, okay. So I feel like this was, with him, that was a long-term relationship for him in the past. And, you know, when people break up or separate and they've been really connected for a long time, they have this energy together that's really hard to break apart. It's like, it's almost like a cord, and I've seen this psychically. It's like a cord of energy between one person's heart chakra and the other person's heart chakra. So what I think is happening here is that on some level, he feels like he's going to miss out if he completely moves away from this person, like entirely. And it's not that he doesn't like you, because I do think there's this connection between you two that feels like it could really take off. Like, I feel like you're right there. You're like, oh, come on, come on, let's go. But it's really him. You know what I'm also hearing? I feel like there's someone else coming for you, but it's going to be like, I feel like it's going to be next year that you're actually going to meet this person or connect with this person in that way that you like this guy for. It feels like this is going to be 5 months away from you with this other person. So so what I'm hearing is you need to make yourself available, but in a very, in a way that you set your boundaries. It's like you draw the line and you say, okay, you either want me or you don't, and you set yourself up like that energetically, and he's either going to match you or he's not. If he's good enough for you, then he's going to step up. But you can't change a person. You can't make them turn around and do what you want, because that is only going to really end up hurting you. Can you understand that?
I can, yes.
Okay. All right. So what I do see, like I said, is someone in about 5 months for you. It feels like it's going to be right at the very beginning of next spring, which is a really beautiful time to fall in love. And I do feel like this kind of idea of falling in love is something you really want, because I feel like you missed that. I feel like you've had it before, but you're feeling kind of empty without it. And what I want you to do as well during this time when you're feeling this way is start giving yourself self-care. Stop, maybe instead of looking to him, this particular person now, start giving to yourself. Like, you know what I mean by self-care? Like, it would be making yourself a beautiful bubble bath or something with salt in it, like a salt bath, or giving yourself a nice cup of tea and doing some pampering yourself. And the more you do that, the more you're going to get used to that feeling of being pampered. And that's really what you want, and that's what you need from a person, to be pampered. And I don't know that this guy's going to be able to give that to you. Okay? I'm sorry. I mean, I know you want it, but I think you already knew that this is perhaps not the way to go. Does that make sense?
And yes, I definitely understand.
Okay. Now, let me get to your other question, because I'm going to need to go on. But you said you had a question about finances, so as related to a job?
That's correct.
Okay, so you're looking for a job right now. Okay, so I just drew a card for you, and it says positive changes are on their way. A welcome relief of troubled times, traveling or relocating. So that's interesting. Have you thought about moving for a job?
I have. I actually moved already for one, but it didn't work out like I thought it would.
Okay. Well, that's all right, because that cards and timing are, time is very fluid, and So to me, this affirms that where you are is in the right place. You just need to get that job pulled into you. So what I want you to do for that, and I do feel like this is 2 or 3 months for you as well for this job. I feel like there's going to be a big shift right after winter, like right after the holidays. Like in January, you're truly going to have this great new year. So in 2 to 3 months, that would be, let's see, November, December, January. January, they're going to start looking for people, and you're going to be one of those people. Continue to put yourself out there. Continue to look, continue to know that your highest good is going to be met. Okay, so I feel like in 2 to 3 months your job is going to transpire, and then about 5 months after, from now, the relationship that you really want is going to come, because you don't need second best in anything. Okay, and I feel like that's the universe telling you, don't settle. All right, Loretta, thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Sure. You have a wonderful and blessed day.
You too. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay. And I believe I have another caller, but I'm sorry, I missed the name. Kim, I'm sorry. Kim, thank you. Kim, Virginia Beach. I'm sorry. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for calling today. So, Kim, how can I help you today?
I just really need to know, like, the relationship I'm fighting for right now, like, it's starting to, like, drain me. But I just want to know, like, is this the right person that is supposed to be around? Like, I had a few people tell me he was my twin flame, but, I just want to know, like, kind of like, is this the one?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. In your heart, if you're questioning this in your heart, what do you think?
I mean, I believe I want him to be the one, but I think because of me being like a Scorpio and how prideful I am, I don't allow to be soft sometimes. So I don't know, sometimes is it me, like, or like when things are good, they're so good, but then when they're bad, I feel like they're the worst.
I see. Sense. Yeah. So what I'm feeling like is in some way you give away your power when you're with this person. Can you understand that?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. When you give away your power to somebody, that's a way of trying to control the situation. And that is never a good sign of someone who has your best interest at heart. If you're giving away your power, that is a leak. You mentioned you had a leak, like you felt it was draining you, right? Mm-hmm. You already know that this is not really 100% with your highest good. You said you want to be soft sometimes. Being soft doesn't mean being a doormat, okay?
Yeah.
And sometimes it feels like you question that part of your life. Like, am I really, you don't feel like you're being 100% yourself. And when you come from that energetic state, when you come from that state of feeling less than around a person, they aren't having your highest good in mind for you. And so it's up to you to decide what you are going to put up with. Everything happens with your consent, okay? So you're consenting to giving away your power to this person, all right? If you want it that way, that's your choice. You have free will. I'm not going to tell you to do otherwise. But what I am telling you is there is better out there for you, someone who will meet your power, respect your power as a woman, as someone who knows what she wants in life, as someone who will respect you for your opinions. I feel like sometimes also your opinions are not valued with this person. Is that true?
It's so and so, I guess, because like it's like we're not together. We never put a title on being together, but we kind of more or less have like an understanding and a respect. But then when things get kind of hard, he runs. versus, but then it's like he's ran so many times and it always came back.
Yeah, yeah, that's interesting. So there's not been a formal commitment, which tells you a lot, right? On both of your parts. And it's almost like you both know you're not 100% ready to be together. Maybe there would be a time where you could be ready to be together. But I do want to tell you the card I just drew, and this is, you're going to laugh, or maybe not. This card says release. Okay? What does that mean? It says let go of the past, an ending that makes way for new opportunities. Time to move on. Do you think that's a message from the universe, Kim?
Yeah, like, yeah. Because, like, mentally, he's, like, a lot of people have said mentally he's going through a lot, and I sit here and try to keep fixing him or trying to be the one to help to fix him. And I think that's more or less the draining part. But then he's also very, like, he's not very open. He's a myth. Like, usually with anybody else, I can figure them out like a book. But him, it's like, he's like a mystery. And I think that's like why I keep drawing you, because I have to figure out this person before I'm able to let go.
I see. So you're having to work really hard at this. Does that feel like an easy relationship to be in, to have to work really hard at it?
When it's good, I feel like it is. But then at the same time, I'm a difficult person also, like, trust wise and like pride wise and opinion wise. Like, I can be very, I don't even know what's a good word for it. Just me, like, I know sometimes, like, I'm a headache to myself. That makes sense.
I would say that the guidance is to release him. Now, you say, you just want to get to a point where you understand the mystery of this person. And sometimes mysteries are very intriguing, right? We want to know. Yeah. We don't know why we don't know what's going on. And this is my suggestion to you, that you put a time frame on it, like an end date almost. And you don't have to tell him. It doesn't have to be that you tell him this, but you say, okay, I'm giving this 3 more months or 6 more months, whatever works for you. And then you stick to it, and you decide by that time which way you're going. Are you releasing the relationship, or are you moving on? Because I feel like if you continue to do what you're doing, you're never going to get the answer. Because you know what? We manifest relationships based on our opinion of ourselves and about that energy. And if we're unsure, we're going to get more of that back, of that uncertainty back mirrored to us. We go into relationships, Kim, so we learn about ourselves. And so relationships mirror what we're working on in our inner world, or, in our heart. So right now you're going through a lot of uncertainty with this person, and what are you getting back? More uncertainty, right? Yeah. So you could stay on that merry-go-round forever. And is that where you want to be in 2 years, 5 years? Do you want, like, really, seriously, think about it. Would you want to be that way in 2 years with this person?
No.
Not knowing, on this merry-go-round of indecision. Will I ever figure him out? Maybe you're not able to figure him out. I don't know. I'm not in your relationship, but it feels like there needs to be a decision made. And when you make a decision on like a time period, the universe is going to come with you, behind you, and support you in that decision and give you a crystal clear answer by that date. So it's important you stick to that date. Now, I just drew a card, another one, and let me see what this one says. Okay. Yeah. Okay. This says, listen to your heart. Intuitive insights you can trust. You've got to go within and listen to what your heart's telling you. And it says you are taking care of others perhaps too much. And so if you're trying to control, trying to give, trying to figure this out, it's you giving but not receiving, right? Are you getting back the support and love and really the satisfaction you want from a relationship? It sounds like sometimes you get it, but you're not getting it all the time. And you really owe that to yourself to decide what you're worth as a woman, as a partner in a romantic relationship. And I do see also that this relationship, you will know by summer whether this is going to work or not. No, so next summer you'll know, and that's about let's see, summer's in May. That's about 5 or 6 months from now. You will know which way you're going to go with this. So if you want to set that deadline for summer where you're like, all right, I'm going to make up my mind, I will, and really follow through with it. You will have a clear signal as to what you need to do at that time. If it's still the same old way, it's still the same story of, I don't know, I'm confused, I'm not getting what I want, it's up to you whether you want to continue it. But I also believe that there's someone else who's coming in, and it feels like it's going to be, August of next year, who's going to come in. If you continue to hold on to this person, guess what's going to happen? You're going to not allow that new person to step in. Because your
new person, or maybe one from my past.
Well, a different person. So it would be a different person other than this one. That's what I mean by new. So a different person, this person. So take a look at it. Give yourself, beginning of summer, see what you're ready to do. When you allow for this energy to leave, this other person to leave, the new person, the other person steps in by August is what I see. Okay?
Yeah.
I wish you all the best. I really do. I know this time's challenging, and I know heartache is hard. I get it. Oh my gosh. Much love to you, Kim, all right?
Thank you. You too.
All right. Thanks so much. Well, I just want to thank my callers today for tuning in and asking me for some intuitive guidance. And if you have any questions, if you would like some intuitive guidance, please give me a call. Well, a shout out to my Facebook page at Pure Love Energy. Message me. I'm happy to speak with you about it. Also, join me on Saturday for my Facebook Live, and we can work on manifesting with crystals on the crystal grid. I hope you all have a great week. Look forward to seeing you all on Saturday at 1 Central. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
This is Fiona, Persian medium. I am Hover. Good evening. Well, as you guys can hear me, I'm so cold and not feeling good. A little bit of fever, but I will try my best to be for you, or to be here for you guys and do the best. Well, before I start my show and before I start caller, I want to talk about how to get rid of anxieties and kind of anxious feelings quick, or kind of as quick as possible. It may happen to you that you just been in a bunch of group of people that you don't know. You've been invited in some places that you never been, and also some people came to you and just say hi without even you knowing them. So you felt kind of, oh, it's strange. I'm getting kind of anxious. Just all the stress and anxieties come all over me. You want to go to kind of like an interview, like a job interview. You just feel like, oh my God, my heart is just coming up to my mouth. I don't even know how to control these anxieties. Well, it's very easy to do. The quick fix is about distraction. Distraction could be anything. So you need to distract your brain about that very specific and very significant topic, or better say subject, that bugging or bothering you at that moment. Let's say that you want to go to job interview, and next is going to say, well, you know, Miss Linda or Miss Jessica or whomever you are, just next is your turn. So when you feel like, oh my God, I can't even go, I feel like I can't even breathe, and what should I do? So you close your eyes for almost 30 seconds. You breathe deeply and out, and then you open your eyes, and then you're telling to yourself, you rock, you're gonna get it, and you have to. Another distractions is about you look into something or some of those pictures that you love, or listen to the music that you really and absolutely into it, or any sort of that could just like quick changing your subconscious mind's kind of directions to another directions. It will absolutely help you to get out from the stress, anxieties, and panic attack. Drink water is also another thing that you guys could do, because it will absolutely prevent that your body is just like working out, the blood circulation is working out, kind of jumping up and down also for maybe 20 or 30 seconds, that'd be also perfect, jump just up and down. So any sort of distractions that body could just circulate directly or correctly through your blood circulations or also kind of subconscious mind, it would be absolutely fantastic. So, and another thing that I want to say, actually, I received an email from my client, and she's 18, and she is asking me about why I feel that I am ugly or I look ugly. Well, it was kind of like funny because I couldn't even actually answer. I was just like, what should I tell her? I mean, should I say, well, sweetheart, you're not ugly. You're the most beautiful lady. But the things is, your hormones, the bodies, anything that actually is changing right now in your mind and your bodies and everything to make you as a teenager, as a lady, and whatever it is just making you to feel kind of not yourself anymore. And that's maybe why you feel that you do not really look like the way that you did like for 5 years ago or for 4 years ago. Well, it's completely normal. So I receive a lot of email from teenagers, and they telling me about like, yeah, we feel this, we feel strange, we are there and there. Well, I had to tell you guys, well, I'm very jealous of all of you. I wish if I was a teenager, but I'm not. But enjoy your time and never say, oh, why I'm look ugly, and why my skin is not look good, and why my voice is just changing, and why. It's not why. It's just a start to be a man. It's just a start to be a lady. And be happy for those hormones changing and everything. And make sure that you enjoy every single minute and second of it, okay? Because life is too short, and fly like that. So now back to studio. You guys listening to A1R, and this is Fiona. And I have Kizzy. Hello, Kizzy. How are you doing? From California. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing very well, sweetheart. Thank you so much. How are you doing? How is everything so far?
Oh, everything is okay. You know, I just need a couple things answered about my life because, you know, I'm just uncertain about a lot of stuff right now.
Sure, my love. Give me your date of birth first, sweetie. Let me just open your Pentagon right now. And then shoot your question. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Okay, my birthday is April 16th, 1980.
Okay, sweetie. Okay, my love. Now, what you have in your heart and what I can do for you. Go ahead, sweetie.
Yeah, I just need to know about my living situation, you know, if I'm going to be able to get a home for myself and my kids before the end of the month.
Let me see. Okay, my love, there is a couple things that come into your Pentagon. The first things that I can see it in here for you, there is some change and there is some challenge that is on your way. And Good news is they are not bad, not as stressful as you think they are. And there is two people. The one person that I can see in the middle is about the guy, like a middle age, almost in between 48 to 53. Going to and trying to help, or somehow you are going to win over some situation and get things correctly done. This guy will help, and this will absolutely make a lots of positive and amazing impact on this situation right now. There is a couple of stress that I can see that you have right now around yourself, which I wanted you to just relieve, remove, and kind of control your emotion, control your anxieties right now, because you're not going to change anything by getting more anxious. You're not going to gain many power or any power to do or getting panic attack right now. So just try to let it go. That's all you need to do, because the guy, as I told you, in between 47 to 53 will help you out, and you are going to be completely fine with your children, my love. Now, there is two things came in the middle of your pentagon. I'm still kind of like not understanding why it came there. Do you have some legal issues and some problem with someone? Or is someone tried to threaten you with something, honey, lately or recently?
No, I don't have any legal issues, but I do have someone who is about to go through a divorce who's in my life.
Okay. So that's what I can see. It's telling me about that this specific person will win, or somehow everything is going to go on that person's benefit. So this is also came on the pentagon of yours, which is you can actually, give that good news to that person.
Oh, okay.
Because I winning, positivity, energies, and also comfortability about some decision that will absolutely changing everything around that person, which is going to be as positive as good. For you, there is some sort of movement, but it's not so long. It sounds that there is no force. No one going to force you to move, but it's going to be on your willpower. And also, I see some money changing, which I can see that some money and prosperities and some unexpected money also come from some places for you, which you never thought that is going to happen, but it will. Again, they came the man in between the 48 to 53 year, and again come in the middle of your pentagon as helping. Who is this person? A man middle age 48 to 53.
I have no idea.
Wow. So them, oh my gosh. You have him all over the place on your pentagon right now. So around the date of 17, 18 of March through actually the March 25th and 27th, expect the man middle age 47 through the 53 come around and be with you, helping you out from that problem or the things that you have right now and worried about. Any other questions, sweetie?
Yeah, I'm having some issues with my with one of my children.
Okay.
I don't know if you do, with my daughter, my 16-year-old. I just want to know if her attitude's gonna get better, because we're constantly arguing, and that's causing a lot of trouble at home too.
Well, before I start my show, I just talk about the teenager girls, and also some email that I received from one of them that they became sensitive. They feel that they look ugly, they are not attractive, and they kind of became cocky and just having so much attitude around, and it's all normal, sweetheart. All I wanted you to do is just try and stop arguing with her, because they can't control their emotion. They can't really just like, acting as like they are normal, because as we know, there's a lot of hormones and things that just go up and down, and we actually went through all those, period as well, but we forgot because it's now a couple of years of it. But I can understand your daughter, and I can understand your frustration and kind of like your anxieties and sadness of all those things, and you want that she's gonna respect you, love you, and kind of listening to you. Well, of course she will, but give her time. Stop arguing with her. So arguing, it's not gonna get her anywhere. It's not gonna give you any respect back, and she's gonna get worse. So no argument. Try to have and build a very strong, nice bonding connection as a friend. So be just her friend instead to be just the mother, okay? And make sure you validate her attitude. Sometimes they are doing something they want, so just like, get some validation from mother, from father, from parents, from brother, from sister, from the, anywhere. So that's why if you feel that she is trying to do crazy things to make you to feel nervous and also sad, it's not because she wants to make you sad. It's just like she's screaming after attention. So give attention, but in a positive way that she's going to understand about, like I would to give back, as positive as possible. And of course, 15 years, a lot of guys just look at her. She's starting to look at herself, in the mirror and see like if she's beautiful or not, if my hair is good enough or not, or if I can compare myself with my friend, and am I good enough, or is the guy in my class actually like me better than Lisa or Linda or Jessica? So it's completely a normal behavior, and those kind of like a low, or better say low self-esteem or low confidence is just coming home, and of course goes directly to mom, and mom can't tolerance either, and then it's going to create a lot of anxieties, fight, and other things. So instead of just telling him to stop doing it, or why you are talking to that guy and why you are doing this, try to create some friendship with her and limit all the argument and fight. Make sure that you understand her emotional feelings, which is based on hormones and other stuff, all the changes that is around us, around her. And what I can see it in the Pentagon psychically, what I feel about her, I'm not worried about her future. I'm not worried about she may actually in some places that could cause some danger, craziness in their future. So everything is good, no red flags. All you need to do is just be there, both as a mom and best friend, that she could just have some ability to come to you and tell you the truth about everything that's happening, in her school and wherever she's going. You got it, honey?
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay.
Love her, and just tell her that how beautiful she is every day. Validation, attention. Don't forget about, okay? So back to studio, guys, and now you guys listening to A1R. So people ask me about like where they can find me. Well, you guys can find me in avidadvice.com, and A1R Network. So back to studio, and I have Connie. Hello, Connie. How are you doing?
Hello?
Hi, honey. How are you doing?
Oh, hi. Yeah, I'm doing fine. I'm glad I got on tonight.
Oh, thank you, baby, and I'm glad I have you tonight. So my pleasure. So gorgeous, give me your date of birth first, and then shoot me a question. Tell me what you have in your beautiful mind and what you have in your beautiful heart. Go ahead, sweetie.
Okay. Well, first, my name is Connie, and what I'm wondering is about 4 years ago, I lost somebody very, very special to me in a tragic accident, and I just wonder how they're doing now.
Okay. Can I have a name of the person, and exactly for how long time ago was it that you lost that person?
His name was James, and it was in 2013.
Oh. Okay. Place is close to the ocean. showing me about the feelings and the connection that they have, or he has a very, very beautiful place, telling me about the blue color of the house, a house that has a window with the blue color, and also telling me about the ocean side, ocean view, also telling me and showing me about some backyard, and I feel the 3 and 4 bunnies that is around him right now. So 2 bunnies around. So it sounds like that he is, and he's trying to tell you that he finally bought the house, and he finally got the house that he always wanted to have, and he is in a good place. And there is actually, I feel him in a kind of like a white shirt and the blue jeans, and also I see him and feel him also around that he has some necklace, which this necklace is kind of like a sign as a name or for something that is creating about something or somebody, is also kind of like wearing and trying to tell you about thank you, protection, and also some trip that you have to go, and is talking about like go to that trip, or it's time for you to do, and don't be scared. Sounds like that he want to tell you that you should not be scared about something that you want to do, and some trip that he's talking about it. But he's showing me the house, a beautiful house, light blue color, and is telling me that is close to the ocean, has ocean view, and I feel and sense her with a white shirt and blue jeans right now. What else you want to ask him? I'm here, and he is actually close to, and I can see and feel him, and he will give you the answer, honey. Go ahead.
Okay. Does he see me a lot? Is he around a lot?
He was around a lot, actually, in the past of 5 days. He's telling me about the anxious and a little bit of anxieties and the worriness that you had. Did you been lately worried about something? Do you want to do something that you're scared of to do? He's trying to tell you, I'm here. Just do it. You will absolutely win over that situation, and you will gain something that you always wanted to gain. It sounds talking about prosperity, it's talking about love, and it's also talking about something that you always wanted to have. There is something that he's trying to show me is all backyard, and is a green, some sort of plant, something that he wants to tell me about it, that I had to tell you. Just like go for it, make it happen, and just like sign it or go to that trip, and don't be worried about it. And he is telling me about some woman, age about 35 to 42, and he's trying to give you some sort of warning about that person. I didn't know who is this person, but it sounds like he's trying to tell you that be careful, don't trust specifically that person. But he is telling you, I was around you for a long time. Sounds like that he's not in pain. He's trying to tell you, just let go of all the feelings and the tense feelings that you may have about that, tragedy and whatever happened. He says that he's in a good place and he's calm and everything look good. So just let go of all the tense and kind of crazy feelings that come to you about that things, and try to stop thinking about how and kind of which way and why he passed away. It sounds to be that he wanted you to stop thinking about it and just fresh your memory, like a good memories about the past, and forget about what happened to him. That's what he wanted you to stop. Just like have it like a movie. And it sounds like you have it like a movie in your brain. It's just going back and forth directly. When you connect to him, you connect to the tragedy, you connect to the place and the way that you missed and lost him. So just don't do that. Just reconnect him with the very strong and sharp and awesome, gorgeous memories that you have about him, which has nothing to do with tragedy or the loss or the accident, okay? So that's what he wanted you to do for on that one. It may because it causes you anxiety. It may cause you panic attack. It may cause you that you feel nervous and bad and unhappy. So that's why he wanted you to stop and thinking about it. Okay. So other than that, he's very happy. He's handsome. He's great looking right now, and he says about like that. I'm watching all over and I'm listening. So and he's telling me about the kitchen, the place as a kitchen, the kitchen table, and also left side of the kitchen or left side of the chair in that kitchen that is telling me that he is always there and he's listening, or kind of like is the famous place for him, so he's listening. So or maybe if you sit there and you kind of like it's your famous place, I don't know, but he's talking about the kitchen chair.
Yeah,
left. Okay, and then he's there for you all the time. So now you can ask any other question that you have, because I still have him, I still feel him, I still can get answer from him. So just like use your time now. Just tell me what exactly, again, you want to hear and you want to know. Be specific about it, because he has kind of like answer to all your question right now. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Okay, is he going to send me somebody new in my life, somebody that will be just as important as he was?
He's telling you that's why he actually even mentioned about a couple minutes ago that yes, if someone come to you, ask you or want to take you out or kind of like take you to some trip, okay? And if this person is going to come around you anytime soon, and if you have to do it, just do it. Don't wait. He wanted you to find someone, and he says that my spirit will help you to find the right person. And yes, he really and absolutely wanted you to be happy. And he gave you all the permission to do what to do and what you want to do to be happy with anyone and whom you are. But he's telling you that I am helping you to find a right one. So yes, and sometimes Spirit actually sends us a lot of energies and connection, and that's why I feel good about it, because now he knows exactly what you want, and that's why he wants to help you out. Don't feel lonely. He says, don't feel lonely. I'm all around you right now. I'm protecting you, and I'm listening to you. You are not alone. I'm here for you. He's telling me again and again and again. He's happy for you because he feels you find yourself finally after he passed. He says that I'm happy and proud that you could wrap yourself, and I will be around you and wrap you with all protection and love as I can send, because I have permission to send from other side. So
okay, tell him that I loved him so much. He's still so important to me.
He loves you back to the moon, and he's telling you that I always gonna love you, I'm always gonna waiting for you. I am proud of you, and please next time when you remind about me, you are not reminding about anything that has to do with our tragedy or my tragedy or the way that I passed. Please just remind about the good, awesome, beautiful timing that we had together. So he wanted you also to go to the nice restaurant, some places that you guys used to, and he's telling that I'm going to be there, the place that me and you used to go. So just go there and feel and stop bugging yourself. So he loves you to the moon, the same way as you do. And he's all over love.
Yeah, okay. It's still hard, but thank you very much.
You are very welcome, gorgeous. I'm very happy that I could just connect with him, so I do not have too much time. So thank you so much, love. I will send all my prayers and energies to your man and the man that you lost. I know that he's in a good place. We all going to send those prayers and energies to him. Now back to studio. You are guys listening to A1R, and for more conversation and connection with Fiona, go to avidadvice.com or go to A1R and PersianMedium.com. Have a great one, and see you tomorrow at 8 Pacific time. Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Jenny, and thanks for watching Moonstruck. And now back to A1R on the air, Psychic Talk Radio now on Moonstruck TV and Lightning Television.
Hello and welcome to A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. You are listening to the High Frequency Channel, and I am Rebecca Urich, your Dream Builder Coach and Life Mastery Consultant. And you are tuning in for transformation. And I am excited to announce that I have partnered up with a financial firm that has a mission to eradicate financial illiteracy. And they want everybody to have more education with money. So one of my biggest struggles as a coach is finding people that are able to pay for coaching. Money is the biggest problem. It's the biggest obstacle for people. So they aren't able to get the help that they need and to live that life that they would love to live because they have financial struggles. And so I am thrilled to be partnering with a firm that has a mission that wants to educate people in finances and in money. And it's really interesting. I'm really excited to be sharing this and to become a financial coach, really, is what's happening. I'm in the middle of training right now, and it is crazy, and everything is changing. My mindset is changing. The information that I'm learning is amazing. And it is truly information that everybody needs to hear. So the question is, do the rich have more money, or do they have more education? And while some of you might say both might be true, but they have more education. They know what they're doing with their money. They know where to put the money to make the most money, right? So I am loving that I am actually bringing the secrets to why the wealthy continue to get wealthy while the poor continue to get poor. I am bringing to the middle class or whoever wants to learn how to set themselves up so they don't have to worry about retirement, that their heart rate and anxiety is not going up and down with the market, so that they can rest assured. I actually have a debt stacker where I can tell people exactly the date they will be out of debt and exactly what they put in, how much they will be able to retire on. And it is amazing. It is absolutely beautiful, absolutely amazing. I'm super excited to be a part of this and to really help people where it counts. And the best thing about this are my services. My educational services are at no cost to you. So if you're interested in hearing more, please reach out. You can go to Rebecca Urich at RebeccaUrich.com and go to contact and send me some information and let me know that you're interested in learning more and interested in learning to exit the matrix, the money matrix, and stop having anxiety as you're watching the market go up and down. Or maybe you don't have any money in the market. Maybe you don't even have any money to necessarily put away for retirement. Maybe you're working paycheck to paycheck. What I teach people how to do is to make more money and save more money. So it doesn't matter where you are on the spectrum. You could also have tons of money in the market or in retirement, and you could still learn more. And like I said, my services are at no cost to you. And I would love to, I feel like this is going to really help people. Like I said, the biggest concern that people have is money. They are worried about, they don't even have any money in case they hit a deer, or it's what we do here in Michigan, right? And to have just even something extra in case something comes up. And so that'll take somebody out if they have to pay $2,500 to have their car fixed, right? So I teach people how to make more money and save more money. And it is super exciting. It is super fun. Again, please feel free to lots of ways to connect with me. You can go to the highfrequencychannel.com, RebeccaUrick.com, contact me through my website. Let me know, hey, I want your services, your financial coaching services. I will happily set up some time with you. We can go over, there's a couple different options for you. We can start and get you going. Gosh, I watched one of my clients as she was looking at when she was going to retire and how much she was going to retire with, and how much her boys were going to be covered. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I can't even believe. She was so relieved. I was so relieved. It takes a huge weight off of people's shoulders to have an idea, to know when they're going to retire. And here's the thing, most financial firms charge at least $500 to $2,500 for services that I'll be providing at no charge to you. So I'm happy to begin helping. I'm happy to serve you. I'm happy to share this information. And it's not even tricks that the wealthy are doing. It's just that we just don't know what they're doing with their money. And it's a little bit different than what you would think. But it's not about the law of attraction. It's not about mindset. It's not about any of that. It is literally factual. It is literally so easy. So please feel free to contact me. Like I said, again, RebeccaUrick.com, highfrequencychannel.com. Contact me through there, or my Facebook page, highfrequencychannel.com. Just message me. I don't care. Let's set up some time to go over and to learn. The first step is to go through the educational process so that you have this fabulous information, right? And then we can go from there. We can do an assessment, which is complimentary. So all of them, I'm excited. And there's more to come because I am just getting started with this. So I'm very excited I feel as though what I'm doing, and I think I said this before, is I'm helping people exit the matrix. I'm helping people become deprogrammed by the way that we're naturally programmed to be, and to have money, and our feelings toward money and how money works. And so I feel really blessed to be with a company that wants to educate people on finances and money. And like I said, I will help you make money and I will help you save money. And with that said, I was thinking about how this just dropped into my lap and how grateful I was at the time. I'm grateful now, but at that moment, it was the craziest moment. And I contacted a friend. I was standing in my kitchen, and I was like, I need to call somebody. It was this crazy thing. I was like, I need to call somebody. And I go, okay, my sister, who I would normally call, or my mom. My sister was putting her kids on the bus, and my mom was, probably getting ready for work in the morning. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to call this other friend. And then we started talking about this, and that's how I got into it. It is life-changing information. So I'm going to keep coming on and keep giving you information. I'll probably do more shows about it because I feel really strongly about the information that I'll be sharing, and that it is absolutely life-changing. So please feel free to reach out to me, RebeccaUrick.com or thehighfrequencychannel.com. A little secret, the High Frequency Channel actually just goes right to RebeccaUrick.com. So either way, you can hit the contact button in the navigation bar and send me a message telling me that you want some financial coaching, and we can set up some beautiful time to spend together and to learn some amazing things. So I'm going to wait patiently for your call. And in the meantime, I am going to take my first caller. We've got Ava in Colorado.
Yes,
Hi, Ava. How are you?
doing wonderful.
Good. My name is Rebecca Urick, and I'm a dream builder coach. I'm also a life mastery consultant. I'm claircognizant and clairsentient, and I do oracle cards. What would you like? I source the infinite. Excuse me. What would you like from me today?
What is clairsentient?
Clairsentient is feeling. So clairvoyant, is sight. Clairaudient is hearing. Clairsentient is feeling, and claircognizant is knowing.
Okay.
What are you?
Let's go with what am I?
Yeah.
Very intuitive.
I'm sorry, say that again. Intuitive?
Very, very intuitive.
Nice. I love it. What would you like to, you want a general reading or you have something specific?
Let's go with the general reading.
All right. Sounds like a good plan. All right, let's see what's going on. All right, so the situation that you're thinking about or that is happening in your life has a lot of different layers and a lot of different dimensionality to it. Is there a specific person that you're thinking of or a specific situation?
Specific in love. I can't even speak. Situation.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. So what I'm getting from that is that, first of all, easy does it. So be really kind to yourself, be easy on yourself. Do you have a self-care program?
Not really.
Okay. So what I recommend is that, make sure you do things like even just looking out the window and watching the birds play, or going for a walk in nature, or taking a bath, or doing something to make you feel good. Something in nature.
Okay.
And to be kind to yourself. Are you a little hard on yourself?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So we want to start really looking at maybe some of that negative self-talk and making sure that we shift that to something more positive. And so we do that by just noticing what we're noticing. And sometimes I'll just pause in the middle of my day and go, what was I just thinking? Where's my energy going? And then I'll go, okay, all right. And then I'll shift it to something more positive. So our higher self is always looking forward, never back. So a lot of times people think our past makes us who we are now. And there's a certain element to, yes, that is true. But I like to say, most of us are stuck. Most of us are broke. Most of us are, disappointed with our lives in some way, shape, or form. I mean, not in all ways, but so it's time to let go of some of that past stuff and to really move forward into what you would love to do. So by being kind and changing that inner voice, that not necessarily the small, still voice, so the intuition, but your voice that you talk to yourself with, and really make that super strong and powerful and positive And then it's saying that you've got some fun things happening. What's the situation? Can you tell me?
My living situation.
Is that what the situation is?
I basically take care of everybody else's dogs, and which I do love doing. And I'm do artwork.
Good.
I'm very creative in things.
I love it.
So, and of course, I play with numbers.
Okay. That's fun.
Yeah, it is. I love playing with numbers. I love doing the art. I love doing the dogs. My issues on being hard on myself is there's not enough of me.
Okay. What does that mean?
Well, right now I have 8 dogs. For them to go walking, it's like 10 miles a day. So it's a struggle to walk that many. And,
wow.
And still have my downtime so I recuperate until the next time they walk. And then I have so many projects started that needs to get done before Christmas. So I kind of just procrastinate, and then I get hard on myself for procrastinating. But and plus, winter's coming up. Winter's a very hard time for me.
Okay.
So,
well, what I'm also getting to is, have you been spending a lot of time at home, and maybe it's time to get out and go out with some friends?
Actually, I am stuck. The dogs are like a bunch of 2-year-olds that need constant watching. Oh,
okay.
The only time I really get out is when I walk them.
Can you have friends over?
To walk. Huh?
Can you have friends over?
I live in a 1-room cabin.
Oh, fun.
And the smallest dog is a dingo, and the biggest dog is a Pyrenees. So
wow.
They're all in between. And
okay. Well, what I'm getting is that it's important for you to also like go get out and get some either invite people over or go do something, even if it's just for a short time, to go and be with people. Have you been invited to any like birthdays or celebrations or anything, or graduations? I guess that would be the time of year for graduation.
I get invited for coffee, which is really great. It does. My closest neighbor is a mile away, so which it's probably about 15 minutes I spend at her house when I do go over there. But like I said, these dogs are like 2-year-olds. I have to really stay close by them.
Sure. I hear you. I'm just thinking that it's important for you to get out and be social. And even if you can meet with, and do you have anybody like-minded, like that is intuitive like you, that you can chat with, even if it's on the phone?
It's on Facebook.
Okay.
And of course, this one here.
Right. Okay, cool. I'm just getting that it's really important for you to go out and talk with people, whether it be your neighbor or something. Just, if you get invited to like a birthday party, even if you step out for like an hour or even a half an hour, it's important that you get that connection with people. Okay.
Yeah.
For whatever reason that will bring you, it'll help you either feel better or inspire you to be more creative. It's just something that is going to help you move toward or move away from things that you don't want or things that are challenging for you. Or maybe there's somebody that you're supposed to meet. That could be it too, is that there's somebody or something will happen because you're going to meet somebody. That makes sense.
Yes, that does make sense.
Yeah, like even if I don't know, a lot of people in my neighborhood. Go ahead.
I have always had that feeling that there's someone out there that I'm supposed to meet, and it's supposed to be like-minded.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying, like, yeah, that's okay. And so I think, like, maybe something to take to think about is, how could you set yourself up in order to, be able to leave for more than, a half an hour or more than an hour? Like, is there anything that you could do with the dogs or put them outside or, I don't know what, whatever works for you, of course, because best. But something so that you can get out. Because like you even just confirmed that you've had that feeling and it's really coming up for me. Like, it's like, I think the more you're resisting it, the more it's like coming through for me that's what you really need that. And, and it may not be the first time you get out there. Like it's at some point, like you said, something is coming to help you take you to the next place, next step, next whatever. And it's going to be about getting out. But you're going to want to somehow, take some time to think about how you can like set up the dogs so you can get out for a few hours every once in a while, hang out with some friends or whatever and not worry about the dogs. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Or have a babysitter, some fun-loving millennial over or something and have her babysit, while you go out. Whatever that might be.
Okay. There are some possibilities out there. I just need to check into them.
Yeah, I don't think it's impossible. I think that's why it's coming through, if that makes sense. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if it wouldn't come through, it would come through a different way. If it wasn't possible, I think that sometimes we just get sort of not stuck, but complacent where we are, and it's okay, and we like it, and it's all right. But there's something that wants to come through, and it's only going to come through when you start getting out. And the other thing is you want to start making action steps toward this, because if we get too complacent and, I'm not saying like doing your artwork and being at home and all that stuff is bad, but the life force is always seeking expression through you. So it wants to grow, right? So it's going to do something to make you grow, whether it be something's going to happen. Like, and if we wait for the universe to do it for us, it's not always comfortable, right? So you want to start taking those steps now. Because universe just is like, okay, it's done, and now it's got to burst open. So you don't want that to happen. You can also take little action steps to move you in that direction, so that you soften that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, prepare myself.
Prepare, yeah, or just ease. It's like the pot, like the top of the pot on the boiling water, and it's like you're like holding it down, right? So we've got to like lift it up and let it air out a little bit and start doing something to move in that direction. Otherwise, the pot won't blow up, but do you know what I'm saying? It's just the pressure starts to build, and then something is going to have to happen in order for that to be relieved. And like I said, this is what's happening with the world right now, is they're awakening, but because we're so stuck in our programming and all that stuff, that people are having to have a divorce or an accident or an illness or something that wakes them up to a bigger world. And so but the other way of doing it is taking little action steps in the direction of what you would love to do so that you ease that pressure. And so then you simply start moving toward, you're designing the life instead of waiting for the universe to default you, which is not always, sometimes it is. Sometimes it's great and beautiful and amazing, but a lot of times it's got to like challenge you to get you out of where you are, if that makes sense.
Yes, I do know what you mean. Yeah.
Okay, good. So you're going to take some steps toward getting yourself out there, having some fun with people.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Ava.
Thank you. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. Thanks so much, sweetheart. And have a good night. And make sure you like my page, the High Frequency Channel, and check in on me and let me know what's going on. I often go live with free readings. So I'd love to see you on there and hear what's going on and keep up with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for being on today.
You have a good night.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye. So make sure that you like my page, my Facebook page, the High Frequency Channel. Turn on the notifications so you know when I go live with free readings. And write me, RebeccaUrick.com or the highfrequencychannel.com if you are interested in financial services or financial coaching. I would love to hear from you. You have a beautiful day. Have a wonderful day, evening, night, wherever you are good in the world. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful time. I love you. Namaste.
At A1R Psychic Radio, we know you lead a busy life. That's why we've assembled Earth's top psychic TV and radio hosts in one location. Psychics, mediums, astrologers, tarot practitioners. Your premium encounter with our hosts is free when it's done on the air or on our TV station, Moonstruck TV. Our hosts are all light workers with hearts of gold. Our audience is global. It's no wonder we're live with free readings 3 times a week. That's right, all psychic and medium readings, along with astrology and tarot advice, 100% free. And with A1R, you can know we critically screen all of our hosts. They're all 100% of the light, no scammers. Join us Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for a truly mind-blowing experience. You're always welcome here. We love our listeners. Anyone can ask anything. Love, life, career, family, and more. It's your reading. Ask your question. Our hosts truly care and can't wait to help you. Earth's top psychics host shows on A1R Psychic Radio. Why? Because the audience is first, and they know it. With love, we welcome you. This is A1R Psychic Radio.
Everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. I am so excited to be joining you today with Sapphire Souls. I'm Amber Price. Thank you so much for joining me in this welcoming community. I am so happy to bring you some messages today. First, I want to start with introducing myself. I'm living in Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada, and I have 5 children, and I'm living here with my husband. We have 1 grandbaby and another one on the way any day now. So it's quite busy here in the Price household, but not too busy to be able to spread some light in the community. So today,
I just wanted to give you a couple little insights into who I am and how I got here. So I started doing this work professionally a few years ago. And it kind of came about in a very interesting way because I didn't actually plan on being a psychic medium for my life. If you can imagine, most of us don't, right? It kind of something you're stumbled upon, and the universe is kind of giving you that direction and guidance to be able to come and join this work. So originally, I had done a lot of work in the healthcare industry in administration. And so I ended up continuing that work and really finding more and more that I went on that I just needed to do this. So my earliest memory was when I was about 4 years old, around kindergarten time. And that's when I really started recognizing that I didn't actually believe that I was alone. I knew it was an imaginary friend, but I did know that the energy that was around me, I felt like I wasn't alone, and that, I really felt comforted by it. It never did scare me. And then fast forward to about 12 years old, and luckily some pioneers in the industry were already on television and sharing some information educationally about this type of work. And I was able to, through that, really understand who I was and what I was doing. And so from there at 12, you can imagine I didn't understand very much about it, but I did know I wasn't alone and that other people did feel the same way and experience the same things that I did. And as you know, because if you're watching, that means that you're also a spiritual soul. And so to some extent, you also probably feel like you could be isolated, or that somebody doesn't really understand how you feel or some of the things that you're experiencing. So when you do have somebody like that come along and really shed some light, it really is comforting. So I ignored it, of course, at 12 years old. I just went and continued and played and, lived my life. And then getting to 17 years old is when I really started to feel my first experience. Now, it was around the first time that I knew that I was communicating with someone who had departed. And so that's when I really started to harness in and listen to that energy. But of course, at 17, this isn't something that I thought I would be doing for the rest of my life. It was something that I just thought I was. And so when I'm connecting and getting messages, I just felt, again, very peaceful, very validated, very heartwarmed by it, because it was never scary. And so then about 26 years old, I was pregnant with my fourth child. And we, of course, didn't know if it was going to be a boy or girl, but I had this impression of a little girl, and she came to me and kind of gave me some information about that she was a girl, that she would be coming and joining us into this earth realm, and that she would be coming on a certain month and a certain day. And of course, I thought, okay, well, we'll see what happens. And of course, true to her message, she came on the exact day that she had given me the information. So from there, it really kind of started to get more involved and more heavy as we kind of went on. And being a parent, I really used my intuition to help guide and help deliver messages and guidance to my children. So as I mentioned, we do have 5. And so now we get to share that information with all the little new grandbabies that are coming for us. And so when I decided that I was going to work in this industry and really just live my authentic purpose, which I really believe each of you should be doing, it is a very scary and difficult step. I understand. I've been there, done that, had to make the same choice. But at the end of the day, it's feeling like a relief. Like, yes, you are doing what you're supposed to be doing. You are living your authentic purpose. And that in itself is so rewarding. So I was about 26 when I made that decision to really start listening. But I really wasn't until my 30s in which I decided that I was going to be doing this for professional work. And I'm a claircognizant, so I get a lot of information that just kind of comes into my head, like my own thoughts and my own memories of things. And so, of course, that is the most challenging, is that your own thought? Did I know that before and now I'm just remembering it now? And so really the thoughts that come in and the messages that are interpreted, and received are really quick, fast, and furious. And so it's a lot to absorb when you're first learning. And as an empath, which is my second strongest quality, you feel the way that other people feel. And so this was my biggest struggle. So any of you out there that have been looking to understand themselves more, or maybe struggling with feelings of anxiety or chronic illnesses or autoimmune disorders. Those are things that I struggled with myself. And I'm very, very willing to share those personal stories because I feel like it's so helpful to understand. I feel a lot of spiritual people feel these types of ailments a lot because they're not really understanding that they're receiving energy and receiving information through that way. And so knowing that now makes you a lot more healthy. You take a lot of more accountability to these things. So really some personal growth in that area. And of course, once you start acknowledging that they're coming through and that you are getting messages, you start to feel healthier because you're in a lot more control over what information you're receiving and how you're interpreting it, if you choose to share it or if you keep it private. All of those things come with learning really who you are and what your purpose is. The main thing that I really kind of focused on was more information. So, okay, now I know that I'm experiencing these things. So where can I get information? Where can I understand? And I didn't know really anybody else who was doing it professionally. I believe I come from a long line of family members on both my father and my mother's side that are very sensitive to energy, whether they're empaths or whether they're actually receiving clairvoyant messages or claircognizant messages. And so it was never a thing to be ashamed of in my family. Like I was very, very lucky that I had so much support with friends and family. But not everybody does. And you know, you have to find that support from somewhere. So really just kind of delving into books. I had read so many books. My husband got me one that I really want to give a shout out to, Sherry Dillard. It was You Are a Medium. This book was amazing. It really captured the essence of what I was experiencing and shedding light onto it. And so I just started reading more books and more books and more books and researching, the internet and really understanding what kind of information I am getting and how to work with it. And so I guess I could say I'm a natural born medium in the sense that I just never really had to develop it from scratch. Like if I go back into time, I know that at 4 years old, I was experiencing that. And of course, it wasn't something that I asked for at that age or even asked for in later years. But of course, this is my life's purpose. I understand that now. And I just absolutely love that there are forums like A1R Radio and Moonstruck TV and all these different people that come out and share their wisdom each day and each week and each moment. And so I'm just very, very pleased to be part of this community. So that's enough about me. I just love sharing some things just so that people who also are experiencing, their own enlightenment and their own spiritual ascension really do understand that it's not easy for us as sensitive people. We don't just wake up and we're doing this, without any problem. It is something that we all work on and that we all struggle with to a sense of how do I turn it off? Like I get asked that all the time. And to a point, it's hard to turn it off because if you're open and you're willing to accept messages because you know it's for someone's highest good, it is difficult to turn it off. However, there's different varying levels of that. And so, in one of my future shows, we'll talk about really how do you harness those messages and how do you protect yourself if maybe you're somewhere where it's inappropriate to be receiving all these messages and having to filter through them. So I'm interested, down the road in sharing those tidbits. And so really when we're looking at energy and how you're getting it, it could come anywhere. It could come at a restaurant while you're trying to eat, at the grocery store. It could come when you're visiting a friend that every other day for the last 15 years you've not had a message come through, but this particular day you do. So really filtering those things and kind of working through them. And of course, nobody wants somebody to be giving them messages all the time. So when we're talking about friends and family members, I mean, there's a certain level of boundary that I put up for those people. I don't tap into their energy. I've done a lot of making sure that there's a good, let's say, spiritual wall or protection around them, because I really do want to enjoy them and respect them as family and friends. And so unless somebody asks, they're not getting any information. And that's just the moral standard I set for myself. And of course, everybody's different. So when we're talking about energy, this is actually an amazing time of the year, because you've got, we're entering fall. And with fall comes all the energy of all the change. And so from an energetic universal energy, you've got the change. So, just as the leaves have fallen from the trees, you've got the energy that is asking us to let things fall away from our energy and our soul that we no longer need. We carry so much with us every single day. And, I always equate it to like, if you were carrying all these grocery bags and backpacks and stuff, and every time somebody you met, you got another backpack or another grocery bag, and then you got upset because something upsets us. And so you hold that as another bag. And then all of a sudden you've got like, you're being weighed down by all of these bags and all of this energy that you're carrying. Now imagine if you thought of that as the physical picture that I was creating for you. Could you imagine how far somebody could get in carrying all of those bags and all of that weight? So when we're really thinking about it, if you can put down some of those bags, those spiritual bags, you can really start to feel healthier and feel more aware and have more enlightening messages come through. Because when we are holding all of that stuff, what happens is our energy becomes a little bit more dense, and it is harder to communicate with energy. And so if we're talking about you and how you're supposed to be, maybe communicating with your loved ones or your angels, your guides, you really want to have some sense of clarity when you're getting those messages. And let's be clear, just because you put something down doesn't mean that you don't have to care about it anymore. It just means that you're letting yourself enjoy the moment that you're in. And so when you're continuing to release or hold all of those things, you definitely should be thinking about, what is this doing for me? Because really, fall reminds us, put things down, let things go. And so it's kind of an awkward time for some of us. I don't know if you listeners have thought of this or have noticed in the last few weeks, some of the energy is absolutely chaotic. And so if you're in the midst of a crossroad in your life, you're absolutely probably feeling uncomfortable. Everything probably seems like it's juggling up in the air and you don't know which way to go. That's okay. Don't worry. We're all there. I've been there too. And so all this has to do is remind us that something has to change. Because if we didn't feel uncomfortable and we didn't have the chaos that's surrounding us, we wouldn't be pushed to do something different, right? So with fall comes all of the energy about holidays. And I'm talking about Remembrance Day is just around the corner. And so when we have those energies that are coming through and really just remembering and honoring the fallen, that brings a whole bunch of energy to light as well, especially in very historical places, because you've got a lot of energy from the actual events that have occurred. Here in Canada, we just had Thanksgiving, and so the energy with that and what it stands for and represents. And so, of course, upcoming all of these different holidays for every nationality, and that brings energy. Now, we're talking about the energy that's created by us humans, which is the excitement and the joy of getting together with friends and family, or complete opposite. Maybe it's stress and worry and concern about having to come together with people. And either is absolutely normal as long as you know and accept that it is what it is. And so when you're connecting, that creates an energy in itself. So I equate that to if you've ever been to a surprise party and you're waiting to surprise this person, and then you're getting all these butterflies in your stomach and you're maybe feeling anxious and nervous. That's feeling energy of people. That's feeling the energy of an environment. And so when you have that, you really want to understand that it's not like an anxiety, like that you're experiencing anxiety. It's that you have to just be mindful that you're in an environment with lots of people and lots of energy. But on the other side, which is so fascinating, we have the energy that brings all of our loved ones. So now you've got energy that's coming through for all of the loved ones that want to attend and to be there to witness this exciting event. And the same is true for events that are more challenging for us, such as, funerals or somebody being ill and things like that, because we've all experienced that, unfortunately, with our families and loved ones. And so the energy too will enhance around those times. And so you've got your emotion, you've got the environment, and then you have the energy of the spiritual realm, which is your loved ones and angels and guides. So can you imagine how much is going on at that time of year? And you're expecting to be, even keel and everything is going great and everything goes perfect without a hitch. So I guess I challenge you this holiday season to really kind of separate what it is that you are feeling. Are you feeling on the energy of the people? Are you feeling on the energy of the environment or the event? Or are you thinking that you're feeling the energy of your loved ones that are in spirit? And so really start to identify what it is that you're picking up, because I guarantee you're going to be able to hone in on your own skills and really, really start to pick up more messages. As well, it takes some of that energy that drains us. Some people really, really thrive in the environment with lots of people and lots of love and lots of connection. And then empaths tend to retreat. So as much as they want to look and be, really excited to be around people, it's actually so physically demanding that they become very drained. And so, they may not be able to stick around for long, and that's okay. And so here are some of the things that we can do. So when we're talking about preparing for energy and how we can kind of, embrace the next several weeks, what we want to do is we want to set boundaries. Number one, it is okay to not attend every holiday party and every, dinner out. You don't have to attend something. Empaths tend to feel like they have to please other people or else they're letting them down. And to an extent, I think as long as you just explain that you're not coming, but thank you for the invite, that there are ways around it without causing an awkward moment, because empaths don't like awkward moments and they don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. So setting boundaries, and boundaries are amazing for anybody. It doesn't matter if you're an empath or not. Really setting boundaries is something that will help you feel like you're really living up to the expectations that you've set for yourself. And when we live up to an expectation that we've set for ourselves, we don't feel disappointed or stressed or lacking. We actually feel validated and we feel like we've accomplished something. So got your boundaries set. So now what? Now you're going to look at how you protect your energy. So you're going to really kind of meditate. You're going to balance out. Maybe you want to ground. Grounding is funny. I'm actually sitting on the floor right now in my living room, and this is making me feel grounded. I feel nice and comfy and cozy. Because actually here in Niagara Falls, Canada, it's snowing right now. So I wasn't about to go outside and stand in the grass. Although, I also found the snow is very calming for me as well. Now, so anything that you do that makes you feel comfortable, maybe it's going for a drive, listening to music, having a bath, all of those things are very clearing and grounding of your energy. And if you're balanced and grounded, you can handle a lot more. And you can probably attest to that. If you've already got, everything snowballing and all of these crazy things going on in your day, it doesn't take much to send you over the edge and cause frustration or stress or, disappointment in your day when you've already got so many things in a momentum. And so if you can balance and clear that out, you can handle a lot more. So when you've got the opportunity, you're going to come home from a large group event, or maybe it's work, or maybe it's visiting one person. It doesn't matter. Whatever your energy has been expended on, you'd like to follow it up with some clearing. So I like to wash my hands with cool water after every connection that I make. It doesn't matter if I'm outside talking to a neighbor, or if I'm at, my local department store, or if I've just finished a reading. I like to wash my hands in between each reading as well. It really clears the energy. And it's a really great fix in a time when you can't actually go for a long bath or a long shower. And so any of those things are really valuable, especially in the holiday season, to kind of reboot your energy. And I think that it's so important that you just say no, just say no, set your boundaries, and then also set time frames for how long that you want to attend a certain thing, or how long that you're going to be able to engage in that energy. If you know that you can only do 3 hours, then when 3 hours comes, even if you're feeling high off the energy from the time, knowing that when you get home, you're going to kind of come down off of that and feel like an energetic hangover, so to speak. Basically, that's you pushing your limits. So kind of stick with it and make sure. Now, you also want to dissolve any cords to any energy that you have connected to. And I'm going to talk about that in later shows, and how we can do more of a clearing and a cutting or dissolving of cords very gently. And I am just absolutely so excited to share with you all of these little tips and tidbits that I've learned through the years, because it helps me so much to understand, how are other people experiencing energy? And that's why I love to hear other people's stories. I absolutely love it. And so when they show up and they share this information with me, and I can help people through spiritual growth coaching, the workshops that I offer, I really get so much more out of it than they probably do, to be honest, because you know what? I love learning and I love engaging with people, and helping somebody understand their abilities is priceless to me. It is absolutely priceless, because I understand from a very personal perspective what it felt like to be there. And I'll tell you, I don't take any interaction with somebody for granted. It doesn't matter who you are. When you cross my path, I will learn from you. And I hope that I grow better from it. And so that's why I'm here. And that's why I've decided that I'm going to do light work. And this is what really just gives me the love in my heart to be able to share with you the stuff that I've learned and the information I get. So primarily as a medium, I connect to people who have departed. And so I hold a very, very high ethical standard for myself and how I share information with people's loved ones. So I don't like to rush. I really like to give people the time that they need to hear the messages. I do evidential mediumship, so I like to provide validating key facts about their loved ones so that they know who I'm speaking of. So because of this, this does take a lot of energy out of me, of course, and anybody out there who also does medium type readings. But what I am able to really kind of gain out of it is that I'm giving. So it doesn't matter how much energy it takes and how long the session goes. I really just need to make sure that that message is delivered. And so I really absolutely feel like if you want more information about that and how I connect, then please visit my website at amber-price.com for more information. And I'm going to be talking in the coming weeks about protection of energy, how energy and emotion might be different, because I hear the words, I have anxiety and I feel anxious, or I'm picking up energy. So I really want to separate what those things are. And this is something that I feel like is something that the people in my workshop really, really love. And this is helping them to become more grounded. And so as you approach your holiday season and as you continue to move through fall season, know that you have lots of resources around you and you can reach out at any time, and that you're not alone. You have validation, you have backup. And so thank you so much for allowing me to join this beautiful community on A1R Radio and Moonstruck TV. I am so excited to be here and share this information with you. And in the coming weeks, we'll get into really some cool topics and deep information. And hopefully where you are, it's not snowing so much, because right now it's still snowing. So, and maybe next time when I see you, I will be able to share that I have a brand new grandson on the way, because he's due any day now. And so we're anxiously awaiting that. Perfect timing. So thank you so much. And I absolutely want to challenge you to that energy challenge that I gave you. And I'd love to hear your feedback about it.
To A1R Psychic Radio here on Moonstruck TV with Amanda Hall Psychic, all the way from the Gold Coast. I hope that whatever you've done in this last week, that you've had an absolutely fantastic, awesome week. I mean, our hearts and our prayers still go out to the people of California with those fires, that there doesn't seem to be any sort of let-up happening there. We can only hope that it's going to rain soon and they're going to be able to put those fires out and people can start rebuilding their lives. It's a terrible thing for people to go through things like that. Any sort of weather phenomena, anything that displaces a family and a community is never an easy thing, and it takes a very, very long time and a lot of patience and a lot of love and also a lot of money to rebuild a community. But most importantly, I think if we show them and share with them in our prayers and our thoughts, that maybe it might ease their burden a little bit easier. So this week we've got the Simply Tarot card of the week, as we always open the show, and this week I'm sort of, it's a little bit of an ambiguous card. I was going to say I was pleased to say this card's come out. It's not one that we feature very often on the show. For those of you that are new to the show, about half an hour before the show, I actually just sort of shuffle the cards and focus on the card or the energy that's going to be with us all for the next 7 days. So it's not something that I say, oh, gee, we haven't featured this one for a while. It's random. It's done only half an hour before the show. So this week it's the Two of Pentacles. So it's the card of money confusion, juggling two situations or ideas around. Now, quite often at this time of the year, I find as we get past what here in Australia, we've just had our big horse race for the year called the Melbourne Cup. And it's usually just after the Melbourne Cup that everybody's mind turns to, oh dear, the holiday season's just around the corner. I've got so much shopping and cooking and cleaning to do that I better get activated after we get over our hangover. So it's interesting that this card has come out past yesterday, which was Melbourne Cup here in Australia, the Two of Pentacles, where we've got money confusion. So it's about sort of juggling or balancing your budget, sort of looking at what you can take from here to there and maybe make your money stretch a little bit further than what you hoped. But it can also be about two situations in your life where you maybe need to give it a little bit more thought and work out what's so important to you at this point. And sometimes it can seem a little bit like a juggling act at which way do I go? How do I sort out what it is that I'm looking to change or bring about in my life, or what I just have to deal with? So sometimes we can feel a little bit like a juggler and we're throwing all our balls in the air and hoping we're going to catch them and not drop them. So I hope if you're feeling this way that you'll find some sort of peace out of it, because we still have the planet of Mercury still going retrograde or backwards until approximately the 24th of this month. So that sort of doesn't make things any easier, I suppose. So having our little quick trip around the universe, we still have Mercury retrograde, which is in Scorpio. So this is really peeling back the layers of intensity, and it's dragging a lot of stuff up from the unconscious and the subconscious part of the mind toward the light and saying, okay, now we've got to deal with it. And look, my inbox has been full with people sort of saying, what's going on? I feel terrible. Why have I got all these flashbacks to the past, old grievances? There's been arguments in the home. There's been all these sort of things, this great groundswell of emotion coming towards the surface. And I think it's very positive, because the only way we can heal or release things is to bring it to the surface, show it the light of day, look at it, understand it, and sometimes the answer is there is no answers, and just release it or set it free and sort of say, okay, well, I can't focus on this anymore. I've given this issue or this situation or this person enough airtime. I've now got to just sort of release it and send it out to the universe and let the universe deal with it. And I don't want that to be a cop-out as sort of like I'm too lazy to do the work on the issue. That's never the answer. It's when we've exhausted every possible conceivable angle that we can take the situation or the matter or the person, that then and only then do we hand it over to the universe and say, well, I can't do any more. If you can show me something or another way around this solution, I'm open to suggestions. I'm happy to look at it and try and address it. So it's a very, very interesting concept. So, there was a lot of frayed tempers in the last 7 days. So hopefully this week, as we move sort of a little bit more into calmer waters, where Venus was sitting in Scorpio last week, the planet of love and affection, Venus has now started her transit into Sagittarius. So it's sort of easing off the pressure of the pressure cooker a little bit when it comes to matters of the heart and things that we might need to communicate or talk about with loved ones or family members or people that are close to us. So it's sort of a little bit easier time this week to have that deep and meaningful conversation, or, maybe things not be quite as intense as what they were. But please be aware, we still have some very major planetary configurations going on. We've spoken about many times on the show about Saturn holding hands or conjunct Pluto in Capricorn. That's still the case. We still have a lot of official areas or areas of great importance in our life that do need our attention. And I know it seems like it's been a hard-going year this year, but it's also been a year of many gains. Because for those of you that have put the hard work in, that have really focused on their lives and particularly finances and where you want things to go and the things that are important to you, the rewards are slowly starting to pay off. I mean, you wouldn't necessarily have a great amount of confidence when you look around the world politically on the world stages with all the turmoil that seems to be in every corner of the globe in that way. But we as individual people, I think, are starting to take responsibility for our own lives, what we're responsible for. And in time, I think we'll then start to look to our politicians and our leaders and say, well, hang on a minute, you guys better wake up to yourselves, because your values, what you're doing isn't in line with what we think as the people. So we could be in for some very interesting times ahead in the next 12 months, 2 years on the political and world stages, as energies and people and situations and decisions and directions will all start to sort of align together. And this is partly the things that we're starting to see now, where we're seeing people protesting in the street about climate change and things that don't suit them. And you go to the UK and they're still arguing over Brexit, whether it's right, wrong or indifferent. They're still in turmoil over that. And I think probably the world seems a little bit smaller now with the advent of social media and all those sort of things. And we've got this instant news cycle 24/7. And I suppose in some ways it sort of feels a little bit like overload, that we sort of just want to switch it off and say, let me just focus on my life and what's going on in my life and what I can control. And maybe that's the best thing that we should be looking at, is sort of peeling back the layers to our own life, looking at what we can take on board, what we can be responsible for, and focus on that. So it's really, really interesting. This week I've chosen the patience candle, and the reasons why I've chosen the patience candle is that I feel we could all do with a little bit more patience. I think there's many times in our lives where we're just so impatient, we want everything to happen yesterday. Well, this is a candle I don't burn that often, but when I do bring it out, it's usually at a time like what we're in at the moment, where there's just so much going on astrologically. And I just sort of feel, look, I want to exhale. I want to bring a little bit of patience. I want to bring a little bit of calmness into my life and around me and for my clients that it's just one of those times that you can light this candle. It's very delicate in its fragrance, and it's like, oh, good, I can exhale now and I can just be. I can just allow things to sort of formulate in my mind and give me the strength or give me the patience to be able to deal with people and their bad tempers or people that are overly emotional because they've got so much going on in their lives. It just gives me that coping mechanism and hopefully filters through to them that, you know, we can just sort of exhale and let ourselves just breathe. You know, I think sometimes we forget to just be in the moment and just enjoy what's sort of happening. So that leads me on to our famous actress of the week. And we're up to the Capricorn, female Capricorn as far as actresses go. And this week I've chosen an iconic lady who I'm sure that there isn't a person on the planet that doesn't know who I'm about to talk about. She was a real role model, a real go-getter. She was somebody that a lot of young women sort of looked up to and aspired to be like. And I'm speaking about the one and only Mary Tyler Moore. Now, Mary Tyler Moore started her career very young. She wanted to be a dancer, and she was very successful at that to a certain point in time. But it was also then it became more obvious to her that she could probably share her message with the world and who she was and what she stood for in a very dynamic way when she got onto the stage and into films and into television, where people were starting to sort of take notice of her. He was a very grounded, dynamic, focused young woman who had a message to share. She didn't take any BS from anybody, but at the same time, she was the epitome of a lady, well-mannered, with poise and grace. But she showed women, I think particularly, through her television roles and some of her very dramatic roles in films. And there's one particular movie that I remember seeing her playing the role of a mother of a young son where one of the sons had been killed and she was sort of ignoring the other son, and he was a teenager and he was getting into trouble and wasn't coping with the grief and the loss of his brother. And the role that she played in that was just so phenomenal. It staggered me that she never won an Academy Award for it. It was brilliant. It was, you know, sort of all the seesaws of emotions that a family would go through after a tragedy, and how we cope or don't cope with things, and how dysfunctional we can be, and how we have to find the new normal. And that was one of the most powerful dramatic roles I'd ever seen Mary in. I mean, for most of us, we will always remember her in the Dick Van Dyke Show, but more importantly, I think in her own show that she went on to have for many, many years called the Mary Tyler Moore Show, which is where I believe Mary really came into her own. She was showing women that we could have a voice, that we could be 20, 30 something, be single, be in a male-dominated career as television was, be a producer, you know, still be single, go dating, have an apartment, have a life, have good friends with Rhoda downstairs and get into all sorts of mischief, and still sort of trying to balance this being single and being independent and in a man's world, but wanting to show the world that she wanted more than just a casual relationship. She wasn't prepared to just settle for something casual. She wanted marriage, which eluded her all the way through the series, but she grew. And I think we all grew with her, knowing that if you put your mind to something and you don't let go of what is important to you morally and emotionally, that you can have great success and you can show people what you really stand for. So that's Mary Tyler Moore. So I hope you've enjoyed our little astrology section on, you know, we're working our way around the zodiac of famous people that I think that have left or leaving an amazing legacy for all of us to look up to. But, you know, Mary really sort of showed, even in her work, the epitome of a Capricorn woman, of being determined, strong, and being very highly principled, and that you work hard and the rewards do come. So we're going to talk to Tayana in Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia and Pennsylvania. Are you there, Tayana?
Hi, yes I am.
How can I help you tonight, sweetie? Do you have a question I can work with?
Well, I was wondering if you will be able to connect with a loved one or two that has passed.
Sweetie, in the short space of time that we've got, I can't necessarily guarantee I can connect with who you want to speak to. I prefer to work with a direct question. So if you've got a question for me, if they want to weigh in from the other side, they will. and I will share with you anything that they give us. You've got to understand, we don't have a direct link to be able to just dial up who you wish to speak to. It's all a matter of whether they feel comfortable and are ready to come through. And sometimes they're a little bit shy coming through on such a public forum too. So do you have a question I can work with?
Yes. What do my near future hold? Is it going to get better or is it going to get worse?
Your future or your marriage or both?
My near future. I'm not married. I'm actually
okay, right. Your near future. Sorry, sweetie. I didn't quite understand what you said. Okay, first thing that they're sharing with me is that this year's been not necessarily what I'm going to say the easiest of years for you. It's been 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. It's like you feel like you haven't gained a lot of momentum, and I'm going to say to you that you actually have. Has there been a couple of major things that have come to an end or coming to an end now that you've been working hard on this year to bring to a close?
Yes.
Yeah, well, they're saying to me sort of like this last little bit will seem like the hardest, but we've got to push through that barrier. We really have to push to make it sort of happen. It's really, really positive because what I'm sort of seeing, even though you're sort of not feeling as if you're jumping out of your skin with excitement and you're sort of feeling a little bit tired from everything that you've had to work on this year, that, you know, over the next couple of months, things are going to certainly get a lot easier, but things are going to start to sort of fall into your lap very, very easily. It's interesting because they're showing me that there's a very tall, dark-headed man that's yet, I think, to cross your path who's going to become very, very important to you. So no one special on the romantic front at the moment?
Well, I do have a boyfriend. He is tall with dark hair.
Right. Okay. But has he sort of been a little bit shy in sort of talking about where this relationship's going?
Yes, most definitely, because we are having a lot of problems.
Okay. So do you sort of feel in your heart of hearts that this is worth the effort that you've had to put into this?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I'm not totally convinced that he's the one I'm about to talk about, but I'm not going to argue with you and sort of say, or even argue with those from beyond that are sharing a message with me. I'll give you what they've given me, and then it's up to you to put the pieces together into the jigsaw, and you don't necessarily have to tell me whether it's him or whether it's going to be someone new. But what they were sharing with me was, number one, this beautiful, massive pink heart, which is always meaning that, you know, the romance is good. I had a very tall, dark-headed man with quite a long, sort of oblong sort of looking face. It's very long. And I feel that the eyes are very piercing and very brown. I'm going to say to you, it's almost like he seems to be sort of reorganising his life. So if this is the current man in your life, I'm going to say that's good, because I feel that he's had sort of a little bit of a wake-up call and it's time to sort of get everything sort of more organised. I also feel that this man's had a lot of emotional issues from childhood that he's had to rise above and sort of put into some sort of perspective, and now sort of leaving that behind. It's not that he's used them as an excuse. It's just that they were sort of there and sort of interfered with things. Well, now that door is being sort of sealed up and shut, and sort of saying, I'm able to go forward now. Also, have you just moved residence? Have you just had a move?
I actually started school in Kentucky recently.
You just did what recently, sweetie?
I just started school in Kentucky recently.
Oh, okay. You just started school. So did that mean that there was a move to go to school in Kentucky?
Yes.
Okay, right, fine. Because they were showing me a move, and they were sort of showing me that you still had sort of question marks around it at whether or not this was the right thing to do. And they were saying to me, yes, it is. It's just sort of like we've just got to let everything sort of settle. I just sort of feel 2020 is going to be a much brighter, positive year than 2019 was for you, where 2019 was where you had to sort a lot of things out. You had to work out who you were, where you were going, what was important to you. And it's now sort of like we can see a long way ahead now. Things are going to start to become a lot stronger. There is definitely 2 people in spirit that are around you, but they didn't sort of really weigh in any way to add anything other than to what I've given you, and they're sort of both just sort of got this lovely smile on their face as if they've got everything in hand for you, sweetheart. So I hope that helps you. We're going to take our next caller, which is Robin in Brandytown, Florida. Are you there, Robin?
I am, yes.
Do you have a question I can work with tonight, Robin? Hello, Robin.
I was just, yes, can you hear me?
I can, sweetie, yes.
Hello?
Yes,
okay,
I can
hi.
hear you, Robin.
I was just wondering, okay, I was just wondering if you could tell me anything about future plans for myself.
Okay, so when you say future plans, is there any particular area that you want me to zone in on? Because future plans is a very wide sort of cross-section of your life.
Yes. Like financial, career.
Okay, all right, we can look at that. All right, first thing that they're sharing with me is that they want to give you a big tick. So whatever you've been working on or however you've been sorting things out recently, I'm going to say to you, stay on that path. It's like you're on the road to success. I want to see you continue with that. Have you been sort of contemplating whether or not it's time to change your job? Because I'm seeing question marks around the employment, and I'm seeing to me that it's not settled, like the jury's out on that. I haven't made a final decision yet.
Yes, kind of. In a way, I've been out of work for a little bit.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then we don't want to keep you out of work. So there will be a sort of, okay. The question mark around that is then probably, are you looking to go back into the same type of employment that you were previously in, or have you been questioning whether or not it's time to branch out into something slightly different?
Whether it's time to branch out into something different.
Yeah. Well, that's where I think it's the most strongest. I'd like to see you sort of, you know, like if you've always been a nurse, it's no point in saying, well, I'm going to go off and work in a retail store, but it could be a different branch of nursing. I'm just using that as an example. So I think it's time to look at your core skill set and then look at what we can add to that or how we can manifest that in a slightly different way to give you something that's a little bit more exciting and interesting as far as the job. I'm seeing a job fairly quickly, sweetie, within the next couple of weeks, but I'm going to say to you it's only going to start out as a temporary or a casual position. I don't want you to turn it down on the strength of that and think, oh, well, it's only 2 weeks' work. That's not much help to me. I really need a proper job, because I feel it's going to lead into an offer of something very permanent. So I want you to sort of take it if it feels right. I do think it's something that you had applied for a job with this company recently and never heard anything, and sort of crossed that off the list, that they didn't even have the manners to say that your application wasn't successful. I know that they should have done that, but I feel that the actual original position that you applied for didn't end up being filled anyway. It was sort of like they changed their mind in the end and reorganised or rejigged the position to be sort of something different. And I think then they tried to sort of maybe sort of disperse it between a number of other people that worked there to sort of, even remove the position altogether. Well, now they've come back to the conclusion that they do need somebody there, but they're sort of looking at whether or not they only need them, for a couple of weeks to sort of sort this out, or whether it's going to lead into a full-time position. So I actually feel that you'll be the first person on their list that they'll phone and offer you a couple of weeks' work if you're interested. And provided it feels right to you, I think take it with and grab it with both hands and go for it, because I feel it will lead into a proper permanent role for you. And it's sort of like you've got 2 weeks' work, and then they offer you another 2 weeks' work, and it goes on like that for a little while until we get into the new year. And then sort of, I think between the last 2 or 3 weeks of January, the first week of February, I think then that's when they're going to offer you a more permanent role, which is good. So has there also been some changes to where you're living too, Robin? Have you been sort of clearing out the closets or something in your time off, getting yourself organised?
I have been. Yes, I have been.
Yeah, but that's
I've been doing a lot of. Yes, go ahead.
Been doing a lot of clearing. Yeah, I was just going to say, you've been doing a lot of clearing and sort of thinking and letting things come in and out of your mind, and sort of what you don't need you've tossed and what you've needed to look at, you've looked at. That's good, because this is all part of the changes that are going on around you, Robin, that you've been given this time to be able to sort of sort everything out in your life, not just clearing the closets out, but sort of looking at a lot of old emotional stuff as well. And that's sort of all sort of disappearing. From about March next year, I think there's going to be sort of almost like a completely brand new direction, a new path that you'll be treading on. Like you'll already have the new job. You've done all your clearing. I don't see any reason to move, but it's like a real shift in who you are and what you want out of your life. And it's like all of a sudden, it's like you know exactly where you're going, what you want, who you want to take with you and who you don't want to take with you. So don't be surprised if over the next few months, some of your friendships, you'll sort of think, gee, I don't know that I have anything in common with that person anymore. I don't know that I'll necessarily pursue that or encourage that friendship. Do you know what I mean? I won't be rude to them, but if they don't ring me, I won't ring them, sort of thing. And it's sort of like getting you ready for this whole new phase in your life, which I think is going to be very exciting, Robin, where you're moving into a much stronger direction. It's like you're listening to your intuition, but your intuition's just become automatic. It's like I don't have to stop and think about how I feel or how I want something to be. I just know, and that's a good thing. It took you a long time to get there. And I think it also took you a long time to say no too, Robin, that you don't have to be everything to everybody.
Correct, yeah.
And that's good. That's really good.
Yeah. Yes. Do you see anything health-wise?
Health's one of those tricky areas, Robin, by, country laws and things like that. We're not really able to discuss it. But what I can tell you is, energetic-wise, I think your energy is starting to become a lot stronger, a lot clearer. You're really listening to your body. You've gone away from sort of trying to follow the sheep and do what everybody else is doing to just listening to what Robin needs. Like if you're tired, you sit down. If you feel like you want to go for a walk, you go for a walk. You're sort of not so obsessed with what's trendy you need to put in your body. It's what you know that your body needs. You're listening to yourself. And I think that's a good thing, because I sort of see your health just getting better and better and better, and you feeling so much more energized, which is wonderful. So that's where we've got to leave it, Robin. We're coming to the end of the show. So I hope everybody has an absolutely fantastic week, and please don't forget to keep California and Los Angeles in our prayers with those fires, and let's pray for rain, that it rains and they can sort of start the big process of cleaning up. And next week, of course, we'll have our Simply Tarot card of the week, the candle of the week, and we'll have our little glimpse and trip around the universe. So until next week, be kind to each other. Make sure that you have your listening ears on during this Mercury retrograde. 24th of the month is when Mercury goes direct again. But so until then, bye for now.
Hi, I'm Mark. Thanks for watching Moonstruck. And now, back to A1R on the air, Psychic Talk Radio Now on Moonstruck TV, enlightening television.
Hello fans, hello followers, and hello students. This is Fiona, Persian medium. I am Power. Another night, another amazing time, and of course, A1R Radio Network. So before I take any callers, would love to share a couple of my experience when it comes to I don't know if I can, I don't think so you can, I wouldn't suggest you to go for that. Oh, my experience is about that when I tried, really I couldn't succeed, so maybe you shouldn't. So there's a tons of insecurities, limitations, and also a little bit of I don't know what to do, and can you please help me where I am and what kind of career I should change or found or whatever. So I want to tell you one thing. This is actually my own experience. I wanted you to not listening to anyone. Of course, we should listen to people with experiences and telling you exactly what to do or not to do when it comes to risk and investment and other stuff. But when it comes to you want to change and challenge yourself, and because your neighbor, because your parents, because your sister, because your brother, because your coworker, because your competitions couldn't make it, then maybe I can't do it either. So try to remove that type of feelings and philosophy that because others couldn't, that maybe I can't either. All I wanted you to do is like try it, believe it. And it also depends on how much you want that things will be the way as you want and the way as you wish. If you wish big, if you actually offer yourself a best ever timing of life to make yourself the happiest and the greatest and the wealthiest and the healthiest, then you are going to invest on your will. The willpower, the energy that you are going to spend, the feeling that how far you can go is all up to you. No one can tell you what to do or not to do. The only person can approve and tell you if you are going to and you can is you. I wanted you to believe in yourself. I wanted you to trust yourself. I wanted you to be brave and take opportunities, even when you feel or felt that others told it's not going to happen. So, the most amazing time in my life was when people told me I can't, and I proved that I can. So I know you're going to enjoy that timing as well. When people telling you, you can't, don't even go there, and then you show that you can. And you can, of course, go there and be the one that you want. So there is also another thing that I would love to exchange with you guys is about the matter of timing. So sometimes we just like not in the right time. Kind of like if I taught like 2 years ago, maybe I couldn't even actually go there or try that type of things. Now I'm more mature. I know exactly what I want. I know my willpower. I know what kind of circumstances, opportunities, and other things I have. So it depends on what you want and how you want and how badly you want, and also timing. You can get what you want. So as I always say to my students and also to my clients, there is no impossibility. There is no impossible. Everything is possible. So we do not have any village of impossibility. We have a village of possibilities. So everything is possible. Just try it at least one time, and don't listen to those people who send negative energies and knows already that they would never ever try it because they are lazy, because they are not brave enough, because they do not invest in their life. So back to studio, and now I have Sarah. Hello, Sarah. How are you doing? From California. Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
Good, sweetheart. Welcome to A1R and welcome to Fiona's show. So it was so pleasure to talk to you, Sarah. Before I start my show and my reading for you, gorgeous, I need to know about your date of birth, and also I need to know what you have in your beautiful mind and what I can do for you tonight. Go ahead, sweetheart.
My birthday is September 29th, 1980.
Okay.
And in my mind is a lot of confusion.
Okay.
On
I see that.
Where my journey in life is supposed to be.
Okay.
And
Sarah, my love. I want to ask you two questions. The first question, the first things that I can see in the Pentagon is about something that related to money and finance, which actually making you to feel very kind of discomfort, not happy, a little bit mad, upset, lots of I didn't know exactly what to do. I didn't know where to go, and kind of blaming others. So I wanted you to first remove one thing immediate with me right now tonight. Stop blaming others, okay? I understand that people having a very strong impact in our life, especially when we talking about money and finance, because sometimes negative people can change our life completely to the nastiest way. Sometimes one positive person can change our life to the best ever way. But whatsoever and wherever you are today, I wanted you to change this type of the feelings and connection that, oh, if I did not listen to that person, if I wasn't really in that matter or that place, maybe I could be better now. So, done is done. Life, it's moving forward. Every day is a new day. Every minute of our life is a new minute and real second actually of our life. Every single actually second that we're just breathing is absolutely a new and fresh life. All I wanted you to do when it comes to blame, stop blaming others, because when you blame others, or especially blame yourself, because if you just could make that decision at that time, if you could just say yes to that or no to that, so maybe you just could be better right now or just like be in a better place. So all I wanted you to just drop the anxieties of, drop the stress and drop the craziness of if and maybe and if or maybe or should. Just let it go of all those words, okay? All I wanted you to do to connect yourself with money, and also, as you know, that money is energies. Energies is everywhere. It's just going back and forth. It's just starting somewhere. So that's what I wanted you to completely feel and sense and connect to that energies right now. And don't worry about future when it comes to, am I going to be, feel good? Am I going to have wealthy enough? Or am I going to have enough money in my account? Am I going to have the job that I want? Just stop asking. Now it's time for you to show action. Okay, Sarah? So this is very important, because I think the one block that is standing in front of your way and trying to not allow you to moving forward is about blocking your own energies to just say yes to life, yes to happiness, yes to wealth, yes to health. It's just because you're still afraid, you are kind of like confused and not know exactly what to do and where to go. So stop whatsoever had happened in the past. Past is past. Yesterday was yesterday. Today is today. Tonight is tonight. Last night was last night. Whatsoever you couldn't do last night, you can do it tonight. Okay? So first step, you forget about what happened last night. You stop blaming yourself and stop blaming others. And what you need to do right now is just stand up and just tell to yourself that exactly what you want to be, where you want to go, and exactly what is your goals and desires is. That is exactly what I wanted you to write it down somewhere, to make yourself to understand exactly what you want of your life. Okay? That's the one thing.
Okay.
Then, Sarah, come another things about, I see that you are confused about kind of moving. I see them moving. I don't know if it's the moving place to place or is it the moving to some other state. It's something that you want to change completely just because you want to refresh yourself doing something. Well, if you have anything that will changing your life from A to Z, like tomorrow, if you really feel that if you are changing that place, changing that house, changing that department, changing that anything that has to do with change and challenge, I wanted you to do it tomorrow, or at least thinking about it, because this is what I can see. It will open all doors to your happiness. Now, Sarah, there is two things that actually come to the right side of your pentagon. It's telling me about emotion and also feeling very down, depressed, and not happy. No desire of continuing, no desire to feel good. Now, Sarah, tell me what makes you to go there, what makes you to feel this way, and why you are so confused about your emotional feelings.
I've been going through, I've been divorced now for 3 years, and the confusion of am I where I'm at, where I'm supposed to be in life? And I actually am putting my house on the market tomorrow because I struggle with the emotional attachment that the energy the house brings from my marriage. And this is where I started my marriage. We raised our kids, but then it's also the place where my marriage ended as well. And so I've had a lot of confusion with that part of making choices, and then as well as not being able to let go of the emotions of bitterness and I don't want to use hate, but the dissatisfaction from the place of where my marriage ended, and that I can't move forward from that. I'm still in a negative, I have a lot of negative energy towards him, and it affects our day-to-day lives, and we have children involved. So
I understand.
That makes it really hard.
Sarah, I understand that. I understand you completely, baby, and I understand that is not something, I mean, when people says, oh my God, don't worry about that, everything is going to be all right, hon. And, you should not be worried about it. You're going to forget about it. So it's just not going to happen for one night. And you have to tell you, whatsoever is happening between you both and what he did to you that making you to feel that hateful and, down in every areas of your life right now, maybe is not really forgivable, but at the same time, what you need to do, maybe it's kind of not time for you to forgive him right now, especially even your guys have children, it doesn't matter, but you have to get over it. And sometimes we get over things with time. We can't get over just like that. We can't just, especially when you are too emotional, when you actually give away 100% of your life and your heart, when you try to do everything that goes from your power to make this man be the happiest and the healthiest and the wealthiest and the whatsoever in the earth, and instead that you get something back, you just like gain some nasty feelings and kind of like destroy your even own insecurities, or better say confident and everything. I understand you completely, Sarah. That's why my recommendation to you is stop even thinking about that I have to forgive him, I have to move on, I have to let it go, because you can't forgive someone that you hate so much. You need time. Time will make you to feel that you can moving forward. Maybe sometimes you need about 6 months or 1 year. Maybe you need another 3 years. Maybe you need the 4 years. The only things that you should not forget is about that you are the mom, and you have to be a mom. Your role as a mom will never change, okay? Your name is mom. So as a mom, you will do everything what goes from your power to benefit your children, okay? No matter what. But you still can hate the man that you've been together. You still can hate the man that you have children with. That's perfectly fine. But when it comes to children, you have to always see what's going to be the best for them. If I'm going to cooperate with him now for just like 4 minutes of text messages, or maybe just hearing just the voice, just like exactly what he gonna says about our son or about our daughter or whatever it is, it's okay. I can do it just for my kids. So try to stay away from him, because I can see that you are guys having so much energy involved. I can see that there is so much memories involved. For you, it's not easy to say goodbye and say let it go. It's very hard. I understand you have good memories, you have bad memories, you have also memories that you don't even want to remember anymore. But now it's time for you to just let time came in the middle of you and him and all the pain that he caused you to let you moving forward to your own life, okay? So don't force yourself that I have to forgive him, I have to forget, I have to let it go, because when you force yourself and when you are not happy with that force, when you are not ready with that force, instead that you feel relief, you get stress, you get an interest, you get an anxiety, and it's going to be more hate came actually to your mind and your body. So all you need to do is just stop telling yourself that you have to do it because of that. All you need to just force yourself about it is about your children and your name is mom, and that's it. Anything that related to him, about him, kind of, creating around him, whatsoever has to do with him, just you need to let it go. Just don't think about it. Don't force yourself, and just stay calm the way that you are, Sarah. And I wanted you to sell this house. Remember when I told you any change and challenge that I see and I feel for you, moving forward, moving from the place to other places, it's good for you, okay? Even you feel that you have a lots of, emotional attachment, but let go of those emotional attachment, because the one things that you remember, tomorrow is a new day. Next week is going to be the new week. Next month is going to be the new month. And next year is going to be the new year. And how do you know that you're not going to be in the place that somehow you just say, thank God that you gave me these opportunities to let go of this man of my life, because now I found the real one. Now I'm the happiest mom and happiest woman in the earth, because now I know exactly who I am with today and what I can do for my life. I know that right now it's kind of impossible for you to just like even think about it, that am I going to be happy again? Am I going to trust any man again? Am I going to be, the woman that I want? Yes, my answer to you, both emotionally, psychically, and whatsoever we can name on, Sarah, is about yes, you can. Yes, you are going to see the man that you want to be with. Yes, you are going to be proud about your actually whatsoever you are choosing between. So that's why I'm telling you. All I wanted you to do, Sarah, first, don't force yourself to forgive him and move on. Just let it go. When we're talking about him and whatsoever you are guys having in between you and him, just try to feel that he never exists and he died for you and is gone, okay? The only person that you are thinking is your children, or persons is your children, and you are the mom, and that's it. You need to get rid of every single memories that you have together with your children and others. That's all I wanted you to do. Let go of your past. Let go of your feelings. Let go of things that making you to feel miserable. Not about him, about you. I'm talking about you. I'm not talking about him. Now, and every single minute that you are thinking about what he did to you, just distract yourself. If you're just listening to your heart again and feel about like, oh my God, my heart bleeding when I just feel and sense exactly what he said to me, what he did to me, what I did, you can't change anything. You can go back. That's why you need to moving forward just for yourself, not for him. And you do need to forgive him right now, but with time, you are going to heal and forgive. That's why my recommendation to you is you are focusing on yourself first. You are thinking about yourself first. Your well-being, Sarah. You need to change and challenge yourself to the new position of life. You are going to jump from the old circle to the new circle. Then close your eyes, jump, and says, now I am jumping because I want to have a better life. I want to feel healthier. I want to actually receive respect. I don't want to be just a giver because I'm getting tired to be just a giver. I need to do everything what goes from my power to tell everybody I am worth it enough to be a woman in somebody's life that could just tell me every single morning and say I love you for who you are and I respect you for who you are, not someone that trying to, with the narcissistic and crazy personality, make me to feel down. So indeed, I wanted you to do it for tonight, and I wanted you to stay away from all the confusion that you have tonight. My advice is get rid of all your past, everything and anything. It will, like one spoon that you just remind yourself about him. Anything that reminds you about him, I wanted you to get rid of it. Okay? So don't be attached by the house. Don't feel that you have to stay. Just let it go. It's time for you to heal, and you are not going to heal if you still stay with those memories. The beauty of memories of things is about your children, that they burn there, they just like grow then and all this stuff. Other than that, I wanted you to not remind yourself about anything. That's all I wanted you to do, Sarah. Do you think that you are able to do?
Yes, it took me 3 years, but I finally made the choice to have the agent come tomorrow to list the house for sale.
Awesome. I promise you, Sarah, when you selling the house, kind of like you just signing and just say goodbye to that, I promise you, the day that you are signing, the day that you are just taking all your stuff out, you are going to feel so much relief that you can't even imagine. That's why. Don't let any type of attachment, emotional attachment, stop you to succeed. Stop you to be the one that you always wanted to be. Don't let those attachments making us or making you to feel down and worried about future. Because your future is shining together with your kids. Without him, not with him. You should be happy that you really get rid of this man from your life. I don't know how you could deal with the narcissist man. I don't even understand how you could even deal with it. But I have to say congratulations, because you did great. but it's time for you to move on because your body and your brain needs rest and find a better way to communicate with yourself and the world. And you know you have a purpose that you came to this life. That's why choose that purpose, and stop bugging yourself. Stop having crazy attachment to something that is not really worth it anymore. Life is changing every day, every single minute and moment. You need to follow. Other than that, life will follow you. And that may not going to make you to feel good. You need to follow life because when you follow life, you change your destiny by your own decision. But when you letting life follow you, the life will give you the most painful experience that you ever thought and imagined for. So follow life that you at least have a choice to choose in between. You got it, baby?
Yep.
I'm proud of you because you stand for your children. I'm proud of you because even when you was depressed, you could do everything that goes from your power to bring happiness and love to your family. Even you felt that there is no way that you could even do it, but I'm very proud of you. You make it. You did that. Be proud of yourself and congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
And the one is you. You and your children. Sarah as a woman, and Sarah as a mom. And Sarah as somebody that's going to be in some other person's life that indeed needs Sarah and understands Sarah the way that she wants and value Sarah's energies, beauty, and smart, and everything and anything that belongs to Sarah. Not the one that not knowing exactly who you are. The man that you've been with, he doesn't know you at all. And I think God helped you to open your eyes and change him immediate, or better say, God or universe wanted you to just jump from the old circle to the new circle to be happiest. That's what I wanted you, Sarah, to continue your goal and your path without him, but together with your kids, and enjoy your life every single second and moment. Try to take your day, try to take your time day by day. Take yourself day by day. Don't think about what's going to happen to me and my children in about 10 years. What's going to happen to us about 5 years. Day by day. Day by day. That's all. So now I have 90 seconds, my love. So for private information, you guys can go to PersianMedium.com, A1R Network, and also AvidAdvice.com. Wish you guys the best. And remember, tomorrow is a new day. And every day, we became as a new person. You can do it. And I know Sarah can as well. Have a great one, and bye.
Hi everyone, welcome to Angel's Divine Guidance with Angel. So today I have a special guest. I have Tamron, as you can see on the screen. She is a spiritually guided who thrives on teaching and supporting individuals on how to effortlessly shift into their magic zone. Whether business or personal life, Tamron gives proven strategies to save time, money, and frustration. She's a certified health coach, former private investigator and an alchemist, healer, and she is clairvoyant. She creates powerful, personalized remedies. Tamron is the founder of Tamron's Place, a retreat for spiritual growth that offers life-changing courses, personalized consultations, and customized retreats. And she is a wonderful, wonderful lady. I have sat by her through the Galaxy Psychic Fairs, and I can't tell you how she rocks this world, girls. So, let's get right into the questions, girlie. What's the difference between being an empath versus being compassionate?
Well, thank you, Angel, and thank you for the intro. I would love to share this information with your listeners because I feel that there are so many people out there today that don't realize how sensitive they actually are. So I want to clarify for everybody listening today that an empath is someone who feels the energy of everything, of other people, situations, walking into a room, and they don't understand that it's not necessarily their energy that they're feeling. So a compassionate person is someone who understands that they can feel and sense what's happening for other people, yet it does not affect them. So there's a difference there. So when you can learn how to shield yourself and to understand what somebody else is and what's actually yours, you will have so much less anxiety. And I feel like that is a big epidemic right now in our world.
Oh, very much so. Okay, so just for our viewers out there, how can we manage the intensely sensitive energy that's going on right now? Because I know I am being hit left, right, and center with this retrograde. So how can we use the full moon and take advantage for it to be more beneficial in today's world and the chaos that we put up with on a day-to-day basis?
That's a great question, Angel. And we have the full moon energy coming up early next week, Monday or Tuesday, depending on when that is. And right now we are in the midst of Mercury retrograde. So it's like magnified to 100 times. And this is why a lot of people are feeling so intense this week. A lot of people are having meltdowns and crying a lot. That's why you're getting the calls, people needing readings, and the phone's ringing on my end too. So I want
to, yeah.
Right? So for women especially, the moon represents, in ancient Vedic astrology, the moon represents our subconscious and it represents our feelings. However, it comes out at night, right? We feel that energy of the moon. So at times like this, when it's Mercury retrograde and the full moon coming up next week, a lot of people don't sleep, they feel restless, and they have extreme anxiety. And some people get depressed too. It just depends on their personality. So when the moon is illuminated, when the moon is full, that is when we feel it the most. And the best way to actually learn how to manage, like I answered in the previous question you had for me, was understanding what's yours and what's not yours. So during my full moon gatherings for women, which we're going to talk about in a second, is I'm going to teach you how to manage your own energy so that you can actually use the intensity of the full moon to release what no longer serves you, or to release all the energies of the people around you that you were feeling and to let that go. So it's literally like you're going to be able to take a big breath and go, whoo, I'm done.
Okay, so does this also affect in people's dreams? Like, I know there's been a lot of wicked dreams going around, and that's one of the things that people tell us. It tells me on phone calls that we have wicked dreams, we're having anxiety attacks, panic attacks, we want to jump out of our skin. Does that all play with the full moon and retrograde?
Absolutely. So when we're having these intense dreams, especially around the full moon, usually what that represents is that our subconscious, so something deep within us, needs to come to the surface. So that's why we feel it the most in our dreams, But what most people do is they hold on to it, right? So let's say fear for right now. There's a lot of fear. We're afraid what's going to happen with politics, the world, environment, whatever. So a lot of people are feeling this fear, but they don't know how to release it. They don't know how to let it go. And that's what the full moon is. It's a time to let things go. So if no one has trained you on how to do that, you're just going to keep feeling it more and more. And if you're around other people that are feeling it, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It's like a snowball. So what we want to do is learn how to acknowledge what's coming up during our dreams, right? And feeling this and say, okay, thank you for showing me what that is, but it's time to say goodbye.
Okay, and how does this play? I had a train of thought, so I got to get this. How does this play in with the holidays coming up? Like, I know around the holidays, I get a lot of phone calls. There's lots of people who are lonely, depressed, not understanding what's going on. How does this all intertwine with holidays? So, like, we got Christmas coming up, New Year's. How does that play in with this?
Well, if people are feeling a lot of these, well, I'm just going to say an imbalance in their emotions, what they need to learn is how to use holistic modalities, which I teach on these women's gatherings, so that you can transform something negative into something positive. And I like to use holistic modalities, such as learning, and we can use things like NLP, EFT, using hybrid essential oils, Bachler remedies, meditations, that kind of stuff, because you have to learn how to turn it around. And you don't learn this stuff in school. It's not ABC 1, 2, 3, right? This is the New Age movement. And it's easy to do, but it's not a quick fix. So it's what I call the turtle, like slow and steady wins the race. These are techniques that you can learn, but you got to keep doing them every day. And then once something comes up, when you're feeling something, it's like, okay, I know what I can use. I've been taught how to use it, how to change it or to transform it. Because everything's energy. So when you learn how to change the energy, you can take something negative and turn something positive. So the best example, really quickly, is you can take anger and use something that you've been angry at and to morph it into passion, into changing it into something better. Does that make sense?
Oh, for me it does. And I know that out there they'll make sense to some of our viewers, and some of our viewers now have been piqued and have questions. So how can the women who are listening to the show, or anybody who's listening to the show as that matter of fact, this will benefit men as well. They go through the same thing.
Yeah.
How can they go and join the full moon webinar that you're having on Tuesday, November 12th, to learn more about how to use the energy to manifest the miracles in their lives?
Well, what we want to do during that full moon webinar is to teach. I'm a teacher, I'm a guide, a spiritual guide. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the 4 elements of the earth, which are wind, the earth, water, and fire. And I'm going to teach people how to use those 4 elements so that you can shield yourself, right? Release what somebody else is, protect yourself, and to transform that energy into something positive. So I do this every month, and for your listeners, as a special thing, I'm going to allow people to join for free. They just have to email me at tamarontv@gmail.com. Again, we can post this information later. And they can join on a live Zoom webinar at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And I will teach them some very simple techniques on how they can manage this energy so that they can release it, feel more grounded, more protected, and be able to move forward. Because a lot of times this is what's holding you back in your life, is a lot of this fear, anxiety, some of these negative energies that really don't serve us, right? So we want to be able to move through that. And that's when the magic happens, when you realize it isn't your stuff.
So what I'm going to ask you to is to send me the information. I'm also going to paste it on my Facebook page under Crystal Clear Holistic Healing and Products so that they can contact you. And I'm going to tag it to the top of my page So just send me kind of like your business card so that they can get a hold of you, because I think this would be really interesting for a lot of people to get in contact with you. It's just a gut feeling. Like I say, you rock, girl. You are my sensei. All right.
Well, thank you. Yes. Yeah,
So do you want to have a little? Do you want to have a little fun?
Absolutely. You take over now.
Well, you chime in, because if you're going to get any information on the readers, you need to chime in. So the first card that I got for today, Angel can never get this on, is the Divine Alchemy. So everybody that's watching the show needs to move beyond the current challenges, which funnily goes into what we were talking about. Focus on what you desire, okay? So we're going to go to our first caller, which is La Maria in Austin.
Yes.
Did I say that correct?
Yes, Mira.
Okay. So your card just happens to be, let's get that straight, the Love and Acceptance card. So that tells me that you are full of love, okay? But you need to start recognizing your worth, and you have to start choosing loving thoughts, which kind of ties in to what Tamron was talking about, okay? So, my girl, do you have any specific questions for us, or you just want general information?
Well, I would like to know about my love life.
Okay. So let me just get into here, and just chime in when you want, Tamron. If you get something before me, just chime in on here. Okay, girl. So what I'm getting more of is that you have had experiences that have sort of given you a foul taste in your mouth. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're basically telling me that when you're ready for your love life and your love life situation to change, that you're going to be able to move forward. You're kind of stopping it from happening because you haven't dealt with and moved forward from the foul taste, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does. Definitely.
Okay. So when you decide you're ready for love, he's going to be there. Like, he's waiting. I can see him. It's more, this is on your side, and this is on you working on your own self-love and your own self-worth, which kind of goes in with your card in the acceptance of love, okay? So you kind of need to work on that personally and start realizing that you are this wonderful, beautiful person that has so much to give the world. You've just ran into a bump, and you got to say, okay, like, I mean, everything that's went on, you have to forgive yourself for what you've thought and what you've said on that situation. And you just need to start owning it. Like, you've got to start being proud of who you are and start using your knowledge to move forward in that area.
Wow, that is so true.
Do you have anything to add, Cameron?
Sure, I can add personal experience and exactly what I'm feeling intuitively as well. You hit the nail on the head, or the hammer on the nail there when you said you have to forgive yourself. And I'll just share that forgiveness doesn't necessarily mean that you did anything wrong. So when we have experiences in the past with other people that left a foul taste in our mouth, it's a wonderful opportunity for us, for anyone, to look at those experiences and to have great gratitude for going through that, because it's pushing you to go deeper within yourself, to find that love within yourself, because it's a magnet. Everything, the law of attraction is equal. So rather than trying to go out and find someone who will love you, when you take time to reflect and look at all the beautiful things that you love and accept about yourself, that's when that other person is going to come into your life, like Angel is saying. He's there. It's the work we need to do on ourselves. And it's a beautiful process to do. And so when you radiate and you feel good about yourself, people will notice that rather than us waiting to be noticed. We need to do the exact opposite, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does make sense. So like you hit the nail on the coffin. Because I do have to work on myself, and, start trying new things. It's just that,
Yes.
Sometimes I don't know who to trust.
Trust yourself, my girl. You have to learn to trust yourself before you can trust anybody else. And that's a valuable lesson that I had to learn with going through my first marriage and how I was just knocked down and everything beaten out of me. I had to learn to trust myself. Once I learned to trust myself, it was a lot easier to start trusting other people. Because when things go wrong in our life, we tend to blame ourselves, as Cameron was saying, and it's not necessarily our fault. And that's where we have to learn to start that relationship between ourselves again and understanding who we are and taking our power back and then trusting ourselves to the fullest. And you will get there. Now, they're also telling me that you're wondering about money. Is that correct?
Yes.
Well, that's coming, my girl. That's totally, totally coming. Okay? So once you start getting in that, like Cameron was saying, once you start getting your vibration up and starting to match with your goals, everything's just going to fall into place for you.
Wow. Do you see me getting married?
Well, that's up to you. Again, that totally comes up to you. If you're saying you want to get married and you're saying it, you put it out in the universe works to give that to you through law of attraction. But if your energy doesn't match it, okay? So if you, let's just say, put out there you want to get married, but then you're sitting here and you're going, do I really want to get married? Do I want to put up with that again? Your vibration isn't matching it. So then it won't come, okay? It's just going to kind of sit there and percolate out in the universe going, hey, I'm here, I'm ready, I'm waiting for you. What do you want me to do? But if you're not vibrationally being specific and saying, this is what I want, it's just going to not come, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does. And I'm actually not in a rush. I just would like to know. I never know what the future holds.
Oh, it's coming. That's totally up to you. You can grab anything you want that you've put out in the universe. You just have to trust yourself and know that you can create anything. And what Tamron's doing with the full moon, that's part of her teaching us how to grab on to everything that we want. And it kind of fits in with Abraham Hicks, with staying on your disc and everything being in the vortex and just being able to grab it. Am I right, Cameron?
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's free to your listeners. So if she'd like to follow up, then she's more than happy to join us next Tuesday night.
And it'll really help you in following through in starting to manifest and create everything you want. People really don't realize how much the full moon and energies affect us. And being empathic, we really take on, like Tamara was saying, we take on a lot of other people's garbage that we shouldn't really take on.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you? All
yes,
right.
It does.
So you have a great weekend, okay?
You too. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. So you can reach me at crystalclear101.com, or you can email me at cosmicearthangel@outlook.com, or you can just go to my Facebook, which is Crystal Clear 101 Holistic Healing, not hearing, healing and products. Okay, I'm